leaders. I'm honored to welcome you to our candlelight service of hope and remembrance, the rededication of our Provincial monument for victims of impaired driving. To begin today's event, we wish to acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the traditional Mi'kmaq territory. We acknowledge with respect the diverse histories and cultures of the Beothuk, the Mi'kmaq, the Inuit of this province. MADD Canada's mission was to stop impaired driving and to support the victims of this violent crime. Following the ceremony here today, we will be going to the monument for the unveiling of the name that's added this year. Also, when you make the lighting of the candle today, you will receive a rose. We ask that you would take those with you to the monument. Our Newfoundland Labrador Memorial Monument is an important way that we support victims and survivors. This province is a little unique in that the monument also contains those that have been injured from impaired driving. Here we have a safe, dedicated space to pay tribute to your loved ones and to recognize the terrible injuries you have suffered. We are united in the goal to prevent this tragedy from happening to others. The monument was built in 2011. We're going to have Mike Fisher with us. Mike would know all of the pieces of information and details that happened back in 2011. It's going back a long time. I served as mayor at that time, believe it or not. And since then, we have placed 78 names on the monument, including the name that has been added this year, Tim Johnson, who was injured in 2021. And we're so pleased to have Pam and Tim with us today. It is heartbreaking to see so many names, and all the more so when we realize it's a small representation of the total number of lives taken as a result of impaired driving. All the more so when we realize it's a small representation of the injuries that affect people for months, for years, and entire lifetimes. To everyone honoring a loved one or acknowledging an injury today, please know that we stand with you and we offer our support. Today I'd just like to bring some regrets from Minister Davis, Minister Lovelace, and Minister Hutton. Yesterday, Steve and I had the meeting with the three ministers as well as the Chief of Staff for the Premier, and I must say the meeting went very well and very productive. And we look forward to working with both federal and provincial governments to make the necessary legislative changes that improve the way in which people drive and the message gets out. And so we will continue that advocacy as we work with government officials. And so the three ministers sent their regrets. They were unable to be with us today because of prior commitments, and we appreciate that. Today we will start with a special video from MADD Canada's new national president, Tanya Hanson-Pratt. Tanya took over at MADD Canada's leadership 1 year ago. And I had the honor of being there and seeing her first address as national president. She's going to be an amazing, strong, tenacious, and compassionate voice for victims, survivors, and volunteers.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for gathering Memorial Monument Ceremony. It's an honor to be part of this special ceremony, though I'm unable to be there with you in person. Today, we gather to honor and remember the innocent lives lost and those injured in crashes involving alcohol or other drugs in Newfoundland and Labrador. Unfortunately, they are not the only lives lost to such a senseless crime. Every year, hundreds of people are killed and thousands more are injured in crashes involving alcohol or other drugs. Despite the progress that's been made, these devastating numbers remind us that our work is far from over. Each of the victims represents a mother, a father, a child, a friend, lives full of potential and love taken too soon. And I know the pain of this loss all too well. On April 20th, 1999, my mom, Burl Hansen, was killed by a 19-year-old impaired driver. My mom was left in a water-filled ditch to die alone. The loss was devastating, leaving a hole in our hearts that can never be filled. My mom was taken from me and my two brothers too soon and forever because someone made a horrible, irreversible decision. I know how meaningful it is to see the name of a loved one on this monument. My mom's name is on the memorial monument in our home province of Manitoba. It gives me some comfort to know that she's always remembered there. I still carry the pain of her absence every day. But it's also this pain that fuels my commitment to our cause and reinforces the importance of our work. At MADD Canada and all of our chapters here in Newfoundland and Labrador and all across the country, supporting victims and survivors of impaired driving crashes is one of the most important things we do. We are united in a common goal, to end impaired driving. Through education, advocacy, and support services, we work tirelessly to prevent these tragedies from happening and to promote safer roads for everyone. We stand with you in your grief and in your journey towards healing. No one should have to face this pain alone, and we are dedicated to being there every step of the way. You can reach out to your local chapter or your regional office for more information on the support and resources we offer. As someone who has walked the same path of grief that you walk down, I want you to know that in our grief, we find strength. In our sorrow, we find resolve. And together, we find hope and comfort. Hope that through our efforts, we can create a future where no more names will be added to this monument. A future where every person makes the right decision, the safe decision, to never drive impaired. During today's ceremony, I want you to hold on to that hope and remember that you are not alone. MADD Canada stands with you now and always. You are part of a community bound by love, resilience, and a shared commitment to make our world safer for everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Tanya, for that message, very powerful message that resonates with so many people. We're pleased this afternoon to have with us our MP, Clifford Small, Coastal Bays, Central Notre Dame. If you're in Ottawa, it's Notre Dame. And so we're pleased that Clifford is there, so he's going to be coming and bring remarks.
Thank you, Al. I'd like to personally thank you for all the work that you've done on behalf of MADD Canada, and on behalf of the families that have lost, and on behalf of the families that have not had to lose, because of the wonderful work that MADD is doing, especially in educating. Right now, educating is so important because as we look upon our police officers, and we all know that the strain that our police are under. every day. And we need to support our police, because without them, the education by folks like you were involved in MADD is not quite enough. We need our law and order restored in our communities and on our highways. And we're looking forward to seeing that day come very soon when we have our policing back up to where it needs to be, and our police force gets the recognition that they deserve. Because without them, paramedics are going to get a lot more calls out to disastrous accidents. Families will grieve more and more and more. But I'm not going to have a whole lot more to say. I'd like to thank you very much for what you do on behalf of the House of Commons of Canada. This is a very, very important cause, and we can't quantify the number of lives that have been saved on our highways, on our trails, and whatnot, because of the education that MADD has laid out there for people from young ages. It's instilled into our youth that substance abuse while operating motor vehicles is a big no-no, and it's working. And thank God for MADD and everything that you've done. Thank you, Al, for inviting me today, and God bless.
Thank you, Clifford, and I'd just like to recognize that the MHA for exploits in Forest Eagling and just got there, so we say thank you for coming and really appreciate that. We're pleased today to have the President of Municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador, representing all municipalities in the province, and basically one of our own. She's also a councillor with the town of Grand Falls, Windsor, President of Municipalities Newfoundland and Labrador. So Amy Cody will be bringing greetings on behalf of municipalities.
Thank you, Al. And I just want to say thank you to you for allowing me to be part of this important event today to honor the memories of loved ones who have been lost to drunk driving, to recognize those who have been injured and who are here to share their stories with us. I'm a mother of three, two who now can drive. One has their own vehicle, and a teenager about to enter driving school. Two in university in St. John's who are traveling back and forth the highway all the time. And it's always a worry. Every day is a worry. Are they going to be safe on the highway? Are they going to make the right choices when they partake in, their fun times? Are they going to remember the values that I've instilled in them, that the messaging of MADD has resonated with them, and that they remember, be a designated driver, get an Uber, get a taxi, walk home, or just don't go. And to certainly send those messages to their friends as well. Nobody wants to suffer the loss of a family member for any reason, let alone the tragedy of drunk driving. So as we all gather here today, and as I bring greetings from the members of municipalities, Newfoundland and Labrador, as I mentioned last year when I attended this event with you, I'm sure that at least one person in every municipality across this province has been affected by drunk driving and the severe effects that can have on families and on communities. So thank you for allowing me to be here with you, to share in your grief, to spread your message, and to help you do the work that you so lovingly do to remember your family members and to educate our communities. So thank you so much. And again, I hope these events do bring you some peace and some comfort. Thank you.
Thank you, Amy. I'd like to recognize also that Councillor Holly Dwyer is with us from the town of Grand Falls, Windsor, and Holly will be lighting one of our candles later. We're now going to begin our ceremony. We will start with the lighting of the symbolic candles. The meaning of each colored candle will be read by Joan Hawkins, Treasurer of MADD Exploits Valley Chapter. The candles will be lit by several special guests who will be introduced momentarily. Following that, we will have the lighting of the individual candles, which will be led by Spain's President of MADD Exploits Valley. And then following that, we will also hear Tim Johnson's tragic story from his wife Pam, who was hit by an impaired driver in 2021 and survived. Members of our police honor guard will escort family members to light the candle for their loved ones. And also representation from our local volunteer fire department. We're so pleased to have you with us today. And I'd just like to recognize Craig Kaiser. Craig is the RCMP rep here in Grand Falls, Windsor in our chapter. Also, Craig Green is the municipal police. And today we're so happy to have Laura Joyce. And Laura's come all the way from Deer Lake today to be with us. And we will certainly show our appreciation. We thank you so much for the time and commitment that you made to this very worthwhile cause. So first of all, I'm going to have the introduction and lighting of the colored candles.
The Newfoundland symbolic candle lighting today is a renewal of commitment to our families, our friends, and our community. We hope this special remembrance of the gifts which we all share will sustain us as we continue to heal and help each other. Rhonda of MADD Bay of Islands will light the red candle. And the red ray of that flame shall be courage, that courage which shall make us fearless and dauntless in pursuit of our mission to stop impaired driving and to support victims of this violent crime. Pam Blackwood, President of MADD Gander and Area Chapter, will light the yellow candle. And the yellow of that flame shall be a vision which gives us the courage and the enthusiasm to continue our fight so that one day there will be no more victims. Pam. And the yellow of the flame, I said that, didn't I? Thank you, Pam. Meg Whitmore, Victim Services Manager, Atlantic Region, will light the white candle. And the weight of that flame shall be humility, that sense of honor which makes us seek nothing for ourselves, and when we have done a favor for another, to put a seal upon our lips and forget what we have done. Councillor Holly Dwyer will light the orange candle. And the orange of that flame shall be loyalty, that earnestness of unswerving purpose which accepts every result without discouragement and keeps us true and steadfast to our goal. Craig Green, representing the Grand Falls, Windsor Municipal Police, will light the green candle. And the green of that flame shall be fellowship, that dear love of not only those who have lost or been hurt, but extends itself to all fellow beings. Jim Smith, musician, MADD exploits, will light the violet candle. And the violet of that flame shall be service, component of humility and courage, that gift of yourself to life, that performance of duty which enlightens the burdens of another and lightens the darkness of yourself, for in loyal and loving service to others, the love of self is forgotten. Greg Kaiser, MADD Liaison Officer with the RCMP, will light the blue candle. And the blue memorial candle for all police officers killed or injured in impaired driving crashes, and for all the work that others do to save lives. Steve Sullivan, our CEO of MADD Canada, will light the multicolored candle. And the multicolored candle for those victims of impaired driving and their families who are not a part of this vigil today. Let us observe a moment of silence as we remember. Thank you.
Pleased again this afternoon to have with us Jim and Alicia. And we're going to provide a couple of selections. We're going to do the first one, and then we'll have the lighting of the candles. In the second, first and second lighting, they'll two parts. The first part will be read by Lynn Skanes, and then following the reading, Jim and Alicia will be back for a second item. And then we will follow that with a victim statement, and Pam is going to do that on behalf of Tim. And we will share that after the second selection from Alicia and Jim. So, Lynn.
Light this first candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to Evelyn Abbott, September 6, 1946, injured April 8, 1965, deceased March 16, 1975. We light this candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to Bridget Allison, August 24, 1994. And we light this candle to honor the memory of Joseph Felix, October 18, 1941 to August 24, 1994. We light this candle to honor the memory of Harry Kenneth Baird, June 25th, 1974, August 15th, 1999. Always remembered, never forgotten. We light this candle to honor the memory of Brian Barry, December 8th, 1957 to May 1st, 1964. And we light this candle to honor the memory of Sheldon Barry, June 3rd, 1972 to June 8th, 1991. We light this candle to honor the memory of Sheila Bakers, May 10th, 1960 to March 11th, 2011. We light these candles to honor the memories of 4 victims taken in one crash. Jamie James, July 11th, 1979 to June 25th, 2000. Tracy Veronica Murray, June 19th, 1980 to June 25th, 2000. Gregory Burt, March 24th, 1976, June 25th, 2000. And James Jimmy Keefe, March 30th, 1970, June 25th, 2000. We light this candle to honor the memory of Juanita Bromley, November 2nd, 1944, June 6, 2005. We light this candle to honor the memory of Judy Lutchell Whalen, May 21st, 1960 to October 25th, 2012. We light this candle to honor the memory of Damien Clarence Burton, January 31st, 1989 to December 30th, 2005. We'd like this candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to Brandon Chase, injuries sustained on June 27th, 2015. To one of the most courageous and determined people I know, Brandon, may the pain and struggles you endure not be in vain. Keep shining your light and making a difference. Love, Mom. That was a message to his mother. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Matthew Rodney Churchill, July 14th, 1989, March 28th, 2005. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Peggy Ann Clark, August 30th, 1987, June 24th, 2007. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Nicholas Coates, May 26, 1986 to August 16, 2013. Nicholas, you will forever be loved and missed. We keep moving forward each day, honoring yours and your sister's memory in everything we do. Kindness first, always. We'd like this candle to honor the memories of Michelle Collins, January 3rd, 1965 to August 23rd, 1982, and Sherry James Golden, December 1st, 1967 to August 23rd, 1982. We'd like this candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to Colby Tavanez. I apologize if I got the name wrong. He sustained his injuries on December 26, 2015. We'd like this candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to Tracy Edwards Drake, injured July 23rd, 1980. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Kiefer Frieda, February 23rd, 1996 to July 19th, 2015. We'd like this candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to Kristen and Nicole Fry, injured March 28th, 1998. We'd like this candle to honor the memories of Julia Galton, September 4th, 1966 to April 2nd, 1983. And Mary Galton, July 21st, 1965 to April 2nd, 1983. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Fernick Frank Vogos, April 15th, 1938, injured June 10th, 1972, and 2 candles in memory of 4 victims taken in one crash. Marion Gold, March 9th, 1944, July 29th, 2001. Ethel J. Gold, October 16th, 1934 to July 29th, 2001. And Oswald Torville, June 27th, 1933 to July 29th, 2001. And Bertha Torville, September 18th, 1939 to July 29th, 2001. We light this candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to Tom and Ann Green, injured on March 7th, 2013. We light this candle to honor the memory of Amanda Hale, April 25th, 1981 to September 21st, 2001. We light this candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to Damaris Henneberry, injured May 14th, 1982. We light this candle to honor the memory of Henrietta Ed, June 28th, 1937, to May 9th, 2009. We light this candle to honor the memories of Clyde Henneberry, September 4th, 1929 to July 23rd, 1980. And Rita Henneberry, June 5th, 1942 to July 23rd, 1980. You are remembered and spoken of fondly every day. We love you, Mom and Dad. We light this candle to honor the memory of Darlene Lily Denise Hillier, March 26, 1967 to December 10th, 1984. We light this candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to John Jack Hutchings, injured July 3rd, 1979. And we light this candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to Jim Johnson, injured May 7th, 2021.
etched in my memory forever. It was during COVID, and I was still working from home. Tim was back to work, but had that day off. For me, it was the one day per month that I met with my staff in person. So I left for work, and Tim left to run to the post office. We had no way of knowing that this would be a day that would change our lives forever. My meeting had not long started when I got the call. The call you never expect and never want to get. This is a police service, and your husband's been involved in a serious crash. It felt like every ounce of blood instantly drained from my body. And I was sure that the next words that he was going to say was that he was dead. But by some small miracle, big miracle, he was alive. Somehow, I drove myself to the hospital. It was there that I found out that he had actually been a pedestrian and had been run over by an impaired driver at 9:45 in the morning. I was whisked into an emergency room. There were people everywhere, machines beeping, Tim on a stretcher, shaking like a leaf, crying out in pain. He was conscious, but not lucid. Nurses and doctors talking a mile a minute. He had a broken femur and would need surgery. He had large third and fourth degree burns on his arms and legs and might require skin grafts. He couldn't move his neck and needed a CT scan. A week later, he was sent home. I remember looking at his broken and battered body and thinking to myself, how are we ever going to manage this? Travel between provinces was still prohibited, and so it was us. No one was coming to help. He needed help showering. He needed help using the bathroom. He needed help doing everything. I remember after getting him settled away in bed the very first night and lying there next to him and feeling such a mix of emotions. Fear about what was yet to come. Gratitude that he was still alive. And anger that this had happened to us. Almost 3 years later, over 3 years later, it sometimes feels that recovery is as far away now as it was that first night. It's been a long and difficult process, both physically and emotionally. Tim's body continues to heal, and so do our minds and our hearts. The crash has taken a toll on us in ways that are hard to describe. We both still live with emotional scars, flashbacks, and reminders of how close we came that day to losing everything. You wake up and you remember that this is your life now, but it doesn't feel like it's your life, because it's not the life you worked so hard for, and it's not the life that you had imagined. So many things that we used to enjoy are no longer an option. Every event requires careful consideration. Are there stairs? Will there be accessible parking? How far will we have to walk? Will there be seating available? Will Lily, Tim's emotional support dog, be able to accompany us? Things we didn't think we would have to consider until much, much later in our lives. And most people don't understand that you're not the same person that you were. There's the person you were before the crash, and then there's the person you are after the crash. But people expect you to be the same person, because others are just living their life in the way they did before the crash. And you just don't have that option. And that's why we're so thankful for our family at Mothers Against Drunk Driving. We have been fortunate to attend the National Conference for Victims and Survivors for the past 3 years. There we've been able to find space for every person in the room and here today as well. Every person knows exactly what you're feeling. We are all connected by grief and loss. For some, it's the loss of a loved one. For others, it's the loss of a way of living. And others still, the loss of self-identity. And the most difficult part of it all is knowing that this was not some unavoidable accident. It was the result of a choice. A choice that someone made to drive under the influence of drugs in our case and alcohol in so many other cases. And that choice has cost us so much. For a long time after the crash, I struggled with the what ifs. What if Tim hadn't been off work that day? What if I hadn't gone into work that day? What if I had offered to run to the post office instead? But the real question is, what if people just stopped drinking and driving? What if people thought about the negative impacts that their reckless decisions can have on so many others? And what if people took responsibility for their actions? Because we're not here today just to remember the pain and suffering caused by impaired driving, but to remind ourselves that these tragedies are 100% preventable. Every single one of them. Tim survived, but we all know that everyone is not that fortunate. And that's why we must continue to educate, to advocate, and to fight against impaired driving. We need to make sure that no one else has to endure what we have gone through and all of you have gone through. And that no other family has to get that phone call. That no one else's, and that no other loved one has to fight for their life because of someone else's reckless decisions. I'm so proud of Tim and the strength and courage that he has shown. Our lives will never be as they were before, but we are grateful for every day that we have together, for the love that we share, and for the chance that we have to share our story and to remind others that life is fragile and that our choices matter. So thank you all for being with us today, for your support, and for standing with us in this fight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pam, for being here with us today. You and Tim have the courage to get up. I'm sure it's difficult. Sometimes it's nice to hear a first-hand story. Not that it's nice, but it hits home our message of what we're all doing with MADD Canada and why we're fighting so hard to educate. Worked at Elle and Steve done yesterday those meetings. There's things happening behind the scenes all the time with MADD Canada. We have the school program, fight legislation to get tougher laws, volunteers into the schools, into the community, victim support. These are things that we'll continue to do and hope to bring some help to the families, you people. And as I look at here, this is one of the memorable things each year. Everyone in this room shares a common goal. And sadly, a lot of what's here, what's in common is grief, sadness, and tragedy. But we're all on the same mission to keep this from happening to somebody else. And it's such a special event to bring everyone together in order to bring this safe spot of sharing such a unique thing in common with one another. I know Elle's probably going to say this, but because he got lots of notes, so in case he forgets, after we make our trip to the monument and come back, everyone is welcome to reception in the room just across the hall here. And just for a bit of fellowship time together, get to know one another a little bit, so hoping that you can all join us afterwards. We're going to begin our next half. We'd like this candle to acknowledge in memory of Corey Scott Kenway, April 19th, 1987, May 28th, 2004. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Stephen Knight, May 20th, 1968, August 7th, 2005. Stephen was a caring, thoughtful, loving person who always looked after his fellow man before himself. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Lisa Barbara Lewis, March 7th, 1969, July 28th, 1995. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Veronica Lewis Doyle, May 26, 1956 to October 24th, 2013. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Roger William Lionel, July 22nd, 1968 to December 26, 2008. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of John Francis Martin, November 3rd, 1961 to February 14th, 1986. Sadly missed along life's way, dearly remembered every day. We light this candle to honor the memory of Galaxy Mercer, October 22nd, 1971, March 21st, 1987. We light this candle to honor the memory of Shane David Mercer, April 15th, 1980 to December 17th, 2010. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Richard John Murphy, June 12th, 1976 to June 7th, 1997. We light this candle to honor the memory of Ashley Simone Nickel, November 28th, 1987, August 15th, 2000. In loving memory of our beloved daughter, sister, and niece, deeply missed, forever loved. this candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to Kim Parsons, injured August 30th, 2013, and to honor the memory of Paul Parsons, June 22nd, 1963, to August 30th, 2013. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Cecil Ronald Peddle, April 24th, 1937 to February 27th, 1962. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Marie Piercy Abbott, August 31st, 1953, February 14th, 1996. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Michael Pittman, February 2nd, 1973, June 4th, 2015. You touched the hearts of everyone we knew, love and miss you forever. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Thomas M. Woodley, June 17th, 1972 to June 2nd, 2005. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Alfred Fred Rabbits, April 28th, 1960 to March 16th, 1974. We'd like this candle to honor the memory of Marilyn Rendell, August 13th, 1956 to September 7th, 1991. Sadly missed by her brothers, sisters, and mom. We light this candle to honor the memory of Sharon Richards, June 27th, 1950 to December 23rd, 1967. We light this candle to honor the memory of Tim Bryant, June 19th, 1980 to July 1st, 2000. Our hearts still ache with sadness, and many tears still flow. What it meant to lose you, no one will know. We hold you close within our hearts, and there you will remain, to walk with us throughout our lives, until we meet again. Love Mom and Dad, Sister Crystal, and brother-in-law Chris. We light this candle to honor the memory of William Bill Roberts, July 15th, 1959 to July 10th, 1992. We light this candle to August 18th, 1974. We light this candle to honor the memory of Barbara Rita Bryan. August 4th, 1950 to October 13th, 1967. We light this candle to honor the memories of Marilyn and Merrill Shepherd. September 21st, 1965 to December 26th, 2016. And Merle, September 30th, 1957 to December 26th, 2016. We light this candle to acknowledge the injuries sustained to Corey Wayne Skanes, injured on June 6, 2006. We light this candle to honor the memory of Jeffrey Spencer, May 3rd, 1960 to June 10th, 1992. We light this candle to honor the memory of Michelle Spencer Gates, December 28th, 1963, June 25th, 2000. We light this candle to honor the memory of Carol Ann Dominic Sweeney, September 25th, 1967 to July 10th, 2009. We light this candle to honor the memory of Hannah Elizabeth Jane Thorne, March 4th, 1998 to July 7th, 2016. Killed senselessly at the tender age of 18. We light this candle to honor the memory of Kelvin Bug Tobin, February 24th, 1992, August 2nd, 2017. We light this candle to honor the memory of David Dwayne White, June 6, 1996 to August 13th, 2016. We light this candle to honor the memory of Marlene White, May 19th, 1973 to July 21st, 1991. My mind still talks to you. My heart still looks for you. Your photo never changes. You never grow old. We love and miss you fiercely. Our sister, daughter, auntie, and friend. We light this candle to honor the memory of Kirby Williams Gibbons, February 8th, 1984 to March 10th, 2004. December 12th, 1996. We will now light a candle for all victims and survivors of impaired driving.
Alicia and Jim. Just want to say thank you to everyone today that's been a part of this ceremony. Thank you to Pam for telling Jim's story, our Tim's story. It's not easy. And certainly we know that you are going through difficult times and trying to deal with this, but be sure that you have support to help you along the way. Behind every candle is lit today holds a special, personal story of pain, tragedy, and grief. It's not easy for loved ones to come today and relive some of that pain. We appreciate that you did come. It's important. Before I came in today, Donna shared with me a message that she'd received many, many years ago, before text, before Facebooks. The message was a typed message sent to her, notifying her of the loss of her loved one. She still has that message. That message is special. And there are many messages. So we have our candles lit today. If you just look to the left. All, well, these are not all. These are just representation on our MADD wall. People who have been impacted by these crashes. Senseless crashes that should never have happened. Just take a moment, we can, to just reflect for those that have loved ones and have lit the candles for us today. Just take a minute to reflect on these candles. So we have many memories that are flooding through our minds, and we just pray that you will find a source of strength, that others care, and certainly that MADD Canada is there for you. At this time, I'm going to, I sort of put him on the spot. I asked because he wasn't there at the time, and I asked MHA4C if you'd like to say a few words, and certainly want to just give him the opportunity to do that on behalf of his district.
Thank you for the invitation to be here today. I do apologize for being late, but I do realize now that it takes 15 or 20 minutes to get from the Citadel to Windsor to Manville. That's rather simple. But again, well, thank you for the invitation as we reflect on, pay tribute to those injured and sadly worse that happened through those senseless acts. And I know we're all standing here today, but all got a story sad stories that we can all relate to. So, you know, when you hear this, we all look at it, you know, and through the awareness of MADD Canada and the community groups, through government, you know, we need to provide resources that we can you know, get rid of this addiction, get rid of this habit that we can certainly avoid, not those stories as we continue on. We need to provide supports to our enforcement, we provide supports to the families in need. It not only affects the people involved, it affects entire communities. So we need to do better, we can do better, and we have to do better. Thank you.
Thank you. I just have a few more thank yous before we move to the monument. I certainly want to recognize again our frontline workers, our first responders, our fire departments, our police forces, paramedics, who have to, unfortunately, deal with these situations on too much of a regular basis. We wish we could say that it would be totally eradicated, but unfortunately, when we look at the news, it continues to happen, and it should not happen. And so we really want to say thank you for you folks attending today and for the time and commitment that you give to keep our highways safe and us safe. So we want to say thank you. I'd also like to recognize our sponsors. I want to say thank you to the Salvation Army for their facility. I'd like to say a big thank you as well to Mike Goodyear. Mike has been involved in this for a long time at Central Funeral Homes, and we really appreciate Mike, the effort and the time that you've put into helping us over the years. Nelson Monuments for providing the monument originally, and also Heritage Memorials Limited for now placing the names on the monuments. We want to say thank you to them, and as well as DSI stake signs. All very supportive of our efforts to honor victims and survivors, and we truly do appreciate your partnership. And finally, we thank you, all the victims and survivors who've come today. Some of you have driven quite a distance. We appreciate that. We hope that you find some strength and comfort in knowing that you are not alone, and that we're here to offer our understanding and our support. We also hope that you know that MADD Canada will continue to pursue our mission to stop this terrible crime and to support all those that are affected by it. As our illustrious president had mentioned to you before, we will be having a reception back here after the monument. The monument ceremony should not take that long, but we'd like for you, if you can, to go to the monument, which is on Circular Road, and we'll come back after for a reception. So, hey, are you waiting something for me? Yes, okay. Remember to take your roses with you, because we will be placing the roses at the monument, and roses have been given to those today that have participated in the lighting of the candles. We do have other roses for all those who did not get one today to take that as well as we go to the monument. And so I'm assuming that everyone will know the direction to the monument. If not, just follow us cars as we Joel finally got me back. It is circular. That is proper, not circular.